This is the CrossGen.
No, Gogeta SJ4.
What? I was about to say this is the
No, Gogeta SJ4.
This
No.
is
Look, Gogeta SJ4.
the CrossGen podcast sound check.
Gogeta SJ4.
What is this? This is Rooster Teeth, right?
Rooster Teeth. What?
Yeah, this is a Rooster Teeth animation. What the heck is that?
No, that's not Rooster Teeth.
Yes.
That's Fighter Z.
No, I know, but Rooster Teeth is making this video.
Oh, well, yeah.
And that is that Fighter Z? I
See,
don't think so.
A common misconception. The Gogeta is not the same as the Dragon Ball Z Gogeta. I don't know why people think that. So technically,
That's Vegito.
Well, yeah. So a lot of people are saying Vegito is stronger than Gogeta. And unfortunately, that's not true. Gogeta is stronger because we're talking about two different Gogetas here. It's like Trunks and Kid Trunks in Dragon Ball Super.
That's Fighter Z right there.
Yeah, that's Fighter Z. Gogeta Blue is different from the original Gogeta. So he's stronger.
So let me ask you this question. The topic of our episode this week is going to be all the VR games that came out in E3.
Candy Vegeta. Oh, yeah.
Dragon Ball VR? Is that even possible?
Why would you even want to again?
Wouldn't it be cool to actually do a Kamehameha?
No.
And then you're facing off against another guy? It's kind of like the Vader dojo in Vader Immortal, except you're doing it with Dragon Ball.
No, because you're just gonna. That wouldn't even make any sense because you're like, no.
First person fighting.
No, but that's different because it's Dragon Ball Z. You're gonna be flying. How are you gonna fly? You're just gonna
put your hands backwards like
and
this.
You know how stupid you would look? How stupid everybody would look? You're literally punching. You're going like.
People do that with the Creed fighting game.
It's different.
How is that any different?
Because in Dragon Ball Z, you're going at the speed of light, so you're gonna be like.
That'd be awesome.
That would not be fun.
I would videotape you doing that, and then add graphics afterwards.
Nah, that's the type of game you would get a headache after. Oh look, Gogeta beat Janemba. I'll give you this. You know what would be fun? Vegito versus Corrupt Zamasu in VR.
And who would you be?
Vegeta, of course.
Again, hello everybody, and welcome to the CrossGen podcast. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to have a pretty information-packed episode. We are going to be talking about the E3 event, but we're going to be focusing mainly on the VR games that were announced. And there's a lot to get into, so we're going to get right into it. But before we do, I just want to ask you guys to remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the CrossGen podcast. Best way to help us out, help out this little podcast grow. And please make sure to tell all your friends, because that's another way that will help make this podcast grow. Anyway, let's get into it. E3 is happening this weekend as we speak. We are recording today on Sunday. Yeah. The event actually started on Saturday over in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. This is an event that's been happening for quite a while. Before 2017, it was an industry-only event, and so people really were just waiting on news to come out of it. As of 2017, however, they did make it public to everybody so that they can see exactly what's coming, and that was kind of directly attributed to the rise of streaming media. Everybody wanted to know what was happening in E3. And now, as of 2017, everybody could see it at the same time as the people that were there. Unfortunately, COVID shut down E3 for the first time last year.
Yeah.
It's usually an in-person event for a lot of the people there, especially the media and the developers and the presenters and things like that. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they actually shut down their convention. What eventually happened is that all the major players then did their own kind of virtual events online. So Sony had their state of play. Xbox had their gaming showcase. Nintendo had their own events. So that's kind of how they kind of got their stuff out there. This year, however, we're back, and 2021 again, still not an in-person venue, but they did a lot of their event. They're doing a lot of their events online, so you can go onto YouTube if you want to check it out. You can go onto the E3 website, and you can stream all of their events. As of right now, like I said, we're doing Sunday morning. Microsoft and Bethesda's event is going to come out shortly in about an hour.
Yeah.
So you know, and I believe it lasts throughout the week. It probably, I think the last day is Wednesday, if I'm correct, but I'm not sure. But if there's anything else that you want to find out about games coming up, then there's a lot of them. Definitely go and check that out. But like I said, we are going to focus on the VR aspect. They had their Upload VR event on Saturday, and as we are VR enthusiasts, right?
Yes.
We have an
totally.
Oculus Quest 2. And so that's one of the things that we're really, really geeking out about. And once we saw the VR stuff, we were like, oh, there is
Bro.
some interesting stuff coming out, right?
That's an understatement. That's such an understatement.
So let's talk about some of them. A game that I played on both the Xbox and the PlayStation, Sniper Elite, is coming to VR, and it's coming to the PSVR. It's coming to the Oculus, and it's coming to Steam.
Wait, so that was on Xbox?
Yes, that
So
is
I've tried it before.
Yeah, you have. It's a sniper game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's a cool sniper game
fun.
because there's some tactics involved in it, right? You have
It's
to make
fun.
sure that you get into the right place, make sure you're not seen, because then they send the soldiers after you and kill you.
It's slow though.
It is. But you know what? With Sniper Elite VR, I think it's going to add another element to it.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the cool things that they're putting in is that kill cam, right? Very much like Mortal Kombat, where you get the Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat X-ray. They're going to have that on the VR version, and it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, one of the things that they showed off was the guy getting shot in the jaw.
Yeah, bro, that looked, bro. I can't even explain it. Imagine it's gonna be so realistic and it's gonna be so violent and so bloody because now you can actually see. Well, you can get a clear shot of who you're killing. It's
I think a Sniper Elite always had that, but it's
well,
the X-ray feature.
yeah, the
that-
X-ray feature that you can get a clear shot of basically
not only
you killing them.
Yeah, not only how they got shot, but the damage that happens internally, right?
Yeah, so bro, I can't wait for that. It looks really good. And it's gonna be very realistic. I can't imagine how tactical it's gonna be in VR because now if you're under rocks, then they won't spot you, and it's a whole different level of tacticalness.
Right. So we did get a trailer, but again, there's a lot to be said about it, and so it's something to be excited for, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that one's coming out in July, so we're basically a month away from the actual release.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that seems interesting. Another thing that they showed off, and I don't know how interesting we are with this, but we had a video with the developer updates on the game's Blaston with their Crackdown update, and Demio with their Realm of the Rat King update. Right?
Yeah.
So those are games that seem interesting. I don't know how excited we are for those, but it definitely bears checking out. Now, Blaston is more like a gladiator type of thing where you're on platforms, and I guess the point is to knock the guy off and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you have shooting. So you're shooting on platforms that you don't really move from. So it's an interesting concept. Demio is more of a, I don't know. They really didn't show that much of it. It's just more of a title card, and I think they showed the Rat King itself, right?
Yeah, but there wasn't really anything to. What was it?
The Realm of the Rat King, Demio.
Yeah, there wasn't I don't. Maybe it was just a teaser. Maybe that's what it was, right?
Yeah, I think it's more of a hey, guess what, guys? This is coming. Demio is an RPG game. So, and the point of it is that a dark force has taken over the underworld, and you're supposed to kind of fight this dark force and stuff. So, I mean, RPGs are always cool. So it bears watching to see what the Realm of the Rat King update does for the game. Um, and like I said, it's basically just more of a teaser. So we're gonna get more information as they continue to update us on that particular
On the Rat King
on the Rat King.
and his reign over the underworld.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
One thing that you were really excited about watching, it was a dev update, so it wasn't a full trailer, but After the Fall. Remember that one? That's the one with the zombies. So this was the first person shooter, 4-player cooperative.
Yes.
You remember that one, right?
Yes. Okay.
And it's a zombie shooter, 4 players cooperative, and it seems like the devs were telling you it's really meant to be played with 4 players, right?
Yeah.
Because and the cool thing is that even though you're in separate places, everybody's going to be seeing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So that's also really cool. And one of the features that they mentioned was the maps. And the maps would be randomly generating in terms of the NPC characters that are on there, like the enemies. So you can go to the same section and replay it, but you'll have different characters and enemies there. So it really helps with the replayability of the game.
Yeah.
And it looks fun,
It
doesn't it?
definitely looks interesting, and it sort of reminds me of this game. It reminds me a lot of Dying Light, but it also reminds me of there was this game that, sorry, there was this game that we played, streamed. I think
Which one?
there was a game that I streamed where it was like radioactive stuff.
Radioactive stuff. Was that
You're in a
was
radioactive
was that
world.
Rage 2? That shooter game? You played it on the PlayStation, right?
PlayStation Now.
I think it was Rage 2. That's the one where you're a shooter and everything is kind of broken and going to hell and stuff like that, and you're
No,
fighting and stuff.
no,
It's not that one?
no. It's like it was very snowy.
Oh, you're talking about Metro.
Metro, yeah.
Metro 2033, I think it was called.
Yeah. So it sort of gives me that sort of vibe with the zombies, and you know what? It looks really good. It looks like it's gonna be fun. It's a shooter, of course, and it's a run and gun game. So it's gonna be gore everywhere. It's gonna be bloody. You're just gonna be killing.
I like the fact that it's a 4-player cooperative because and you know how I am. I love tactical type shooters. I love shooters where you have to think before you do instead of just kind of running around and stuff. And even though it does look like it's a run and gun, but the fact that you have 3 other real players there means that you can do things
Whatever way.
yeah, there'll be different ways of approaching the same situation,
Yeah.
So that looks really, really exciting. I'm
Totally.
looking forward to that. Um, there were so let's talk about something that we may not be totally too excited about, but hey, there might be a thing out there that people like. Traffic Jam.
Yeah.
It's a party game, right?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Is that something that we would play? Do you think?
It's a party game, so it's like
Explain what the party game looks like and
so
how it works.
it's very kawaii. They have like cartoony stuff, and it's very like sort of peaceful sort of vibe to it. It's very colorful and all that. But and I remember there were like different challenges you could. There was like a Friday night funkin' sort of challenge where you had to like sort of press the arrows on time and all that. Traffic jam. You had traffic jams. You needed to
It
sort
was
of
like a
what are they?
traffic jam sim, right?
What are they called? The pedestrians.
Yeah, and you had to make sure that the cars wouldn't crash into each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're basically directing traffic to try and avoid car crashes and stuff.
Yeah, and I think
So,
there was one where you were like throwing hot dogs at people in
yeah.
the street. So it was like, look, it's a party game. It's what you would expect from a party game. And I'm glad that they're starting to focus a little bit more on party games for VR. I don't know if they were doing it before,
Hmm.
but
It had a rhythm aspect to it, right? Especially with that Friday Night Funkin' thing that you were
well,
talking
yeah,
about.
Friday Night Funkin' is all about rhythm and all
Hmm.
that. So it definitely looks like it'd be fun if you were like over at your family's house or they came over to your house and you guys could just chill, eat food, play Oculus, play this game, and it that's definitely the sort of vibe that you would get from this game. Which it's not something you would play by yourself. There you
Right.
go.
Yeah. So this is a game that's coming out on PSVR, and I think it's well suited for PSVR because it seems like it's something that the console would handle pretty well. You know. And so it's a trailer that we saw, so it's interesting. That means that it's probably further along in development, and so we should be getting it pretty soon. Um, let's talk about some of these other games that we saw before we get into the real meat and potatoes of the games that we thought were really really interesting. I expect you to die too.
Yeah.
So
That okay. That's a very, very interesting game, to say the least.
yeah,
There wasn't
that was a trailer that they showed, and it's available for Oculus, Steam, and the PSVR.
it was sort of vague. A little bit vague, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't understand what was fully going on, but I understood the basic concept of it. Basically, it's like one of those games where it's almost like I
It's
wouldn't
like a
say it's like
dying simulator, right?
yeah,
In a sense.
I wouldn't say it's like a murder mystery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just put it this way: you're being hunted down. People are setting traps for you. They're literally you're just trying to be killed. You're just
Well, you're trying not to be
well,
killed.
yeah, you're being
That's the whole
hunted
point.
down.
So it's a virtual reality action game, right? And you're playing like a James Bond type of spy character and stuff. But I think the whole premise is not really the action of fighting guys. It's the action of trying to, you know, it's like a puzzle game in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Because you're presented with a whole bunch of traps, and the point is to set off those traps without dying. Hence the name. I expect you to die.
It's the type of game that would put you in a laser room,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. It's like an escape room almost, right?
Yeah, it's like, yo, there you go.
Yeah,
It's an escape room except when you escape, we saw from the trailer, you're being pushed on a plane and they're sending rockets after you
yeah.
and
You
missiles.
die horribly.
Yep.
So it's an interesting game.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know if we'll get it, but we might check it out if there's like a demo or something like that, right?
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Some other games that seem interesting that came out: Green Hell, which is an open world crafting, hunting, building, exploration, survival game. Um, the environment looks awesome, right?
Didn't look too
The
bad.
graphics were pretty cool.
The I saw the collision, I guess, wasn't too on
Yeah,
point.
but I think that's because it's still early.
Oh,
Because
it's still early.
this was not a full trailer. This was more of a developer update with cutscenes. So I think
Oh,
they're still working on it.
okay.
So it's that's kind of the reason why we're telling everybody whether we're seeing trailers versus dev updates, because dev updates means that the game is still really really early on, and there's some elements that still haven't been worked on yet. It kind of gave me an Ark
It
survival
it's
kind
Arc.
of Far Cry feel to it.
It's basically Arc VR. That's
Yeah,
all you need to know.
yeah. So if you like Ark VR, then I mean, if you like Ark Survival, this is their VR version of it, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty good. It's
Given that it's in early development,
right, exactly.
it
So
looks it looks good with how it's coming on so far. We would need to see more of it, and yeah, we might. We're probably gonna give you an update, I guess, on it
yep,
when
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 we
they
get more,
release.
you know. when they actually, I don't think there's a full trailer out there, but definitely it's something that we should check out because it does look good, and
Does
we do like Ark Survival as a game,
we need to
so
we need to
it's
play it.
definitely something that we might check out. What else? Because there was a lot of stuff that came out. Rhythm of the Universe, Iona.
Jeez, what was that?
That was a very, very, very interesting and beautiful game. Now, this is a game that was delayed. I think this thing was supposed to come out in 2019, and because of everything that's going on, and just the scope of the game looks interesting, right? Um, it's it's one of these games where they're actually
Yeah.
leaning towards, the game is actually supporting wildlife conservation, and that kind of gives you an inkling on about what the game is about, right? So the game is it's you're gonna have 7 episodes, so it's an episodic game, kind of like Vader Immortal, right? The game plan is to drop a new episode every 6 months. Okay. So this is going to be a game that you're going to be supporting for like 2 or 3 years, in terms of playing and stuff. Um, it's a fantasy adventure puzzler with music.
Hmm.
So the premise of the game is that there's like a creature, and there is probably there's a lot of other creatures, but it looks like they're focusing on one specific. See, I can't talk because it's so weird but cool. The premise of this game: there's a creature that you have to save from extinction, and what you're doing also is that you have to heal the forest, and the way you do it is by doing it through music.
Hmm.
So that's where the music aspect comes. So you're healing the forest with your musical powers. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. They didn't show a lot of gameplay. They showed more the concept of the game, but the game looks extraordinary.
Totally.
Is
And
that
the
something that?
graphics look amazing. They had like super duper really cool creatures and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean, it just looks overall good. There wasn't too much about it, per se.
it's a game that feels like there's really nothing like it on VR right now, right?
Yeah,
I think that's where we're kind of struggling to try and figure out where this game lies, because it's so unique in the way that it looks and the way and the premise of it, that it's like, I don't think we have anything really to kind of compare it to, right?
no, not at all. It's an alien world, and I don't know. It's trying to focus on world problems, which I think is
It's a
it's
game with a
awesome.
message, right?
It's a game with a message, and I think that everything about the game is cool, but the message it brings across, it shoot it what it shoots across
Mm-hmm.
is awesome. And
And the fact that they're supporting wildlife
yeah,
conservation is awesome as well, because with global warming and just us as a species, we're seeing a lot of animal and plant species kind of going on the wayside.
yeah,
A lot of people talk about this being the next great extinction, and so a game that focuses and really shines the light on that is really, really awesome from that perspective.
totally.
All right, so we've got that one. Let's talk a little bit about, now, what did you think about Sam and Max? This time it's virtual. It
I
seems like it's an escape room game, and it's using a pre-existing franchise.
I have no idea what Sam and Max is,
Okay.
honestly.
It seemed okay. It's an escape room with attitude,
Yeah,
right?
and
Um, I guess it could be fun.
it targets more of the children audience, right?
It seems like that.
Yeah, so I mean, look, if that's what children would like, I guess yeah, it's a good game. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks pretty interesting. If I'm gonna put myself in a child's shoes, right? I'm not a child,
Hmm.
though. Um,
There might be
it's
something there.
yeah, it's very attractive in terms of it's. I believe it's cel shaded.
Yeah, and the characters like snarky comments,
Yeah, it's like very yeah, it's very kiddish and stuff.
escape room with attitude.
Yeah, it's awesome. Pretty cool.
Okay,
Yeah, I guess
all right. So we'll check that out. Let's talk about a couple of more games before we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast.
because this is yes,
Waltz of the Wizard.
the waltz. Okay, now I believe that it would be a very good game, but I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter sort of stuff.
It
But
deals with magic, right?
yeah, given the fact that a large majority of people like Harry Potter, go for it. If you love Harry Potter, that's gonna be like a super amazing game because the way you interact with stuff, you can use like magic and stuff to like freaking lift objects up, and they're like really the bosses. From what I saw, the bosses looked amazing. Like
Hmm.
I haven't seen stuff like that in any VR games so far. So
Yeah, it's almost seems like it's taking the magical elements of Skyrim
yeah,
and just making an entire game on that.
yeah,
You know, so um, I guess it'd be interesting, right?
definitely.
We'd have to keep an eye on the project to see how it progresses, but it does have an interesting concept, and the look is interesting as well,
Hmm.
right? Next, let's talk about the trailer for the rhythm game Against Beat
Yes.
Saber
Okay.
versus Zombies.
Against is.
That one I'm a little weirded out on. I'm not sure what to expect on that particular game, right?
I mean, I like it, but
Is there's something about it that feels like, and this is just my personal opinion, and you can tell me if you believe this or not. It feels like you'll play the game at the beginning and it'll be cool, and then you'll never play it again,
yeah.
right? I I just get that sense, and maybe again, I really really hope it's wrong. So explain what Against
Okay.
is about.
So to put it super simply, right? Against is like it's a beat saber game. You're just except this time you're fighting monsters. So think of the boxes as like werewolves and zombies and vampires and stuff like that. Yeah. Except you're like hitting them with your sword. I believe you have like a super cool dagger and you're just hitting them. They throw like knives at you and stuff like that. So you have to like sort of block it. And look, I wouldn't say it's a bad game.
No.
I definitely believe that it was a good game, and I definitely feel that we need to see more of it because I remember we were during the trailer we were like, okay, this it isn't half bad, but then all of a sudden you started moving, right? And look, the moving aspect of it seems like it was awesome, except they cut it off too early. So we're gonna need to check out more of it, but it has a lot of potential, but it's very slow. It seems like. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it now, but like yeah,
Yeah, it's got that noir setting to it, noir feeling to it, supernatural because, like you said, zombies and werewolves and things of that nature.
yeah.
It just
Well, hmm.
I'm struggling to find the appeal just on my perspective.
Oh okay,
It feels like it's like okay, it's it's got a novelty to it because you're cutting down these zombies and these werewolves based on music, but then after a while, I don't know if I would actually go. Not the way like Beat Saber. Beat Saber is insanely addictive. You know.
Very,
Um,
very. But
I don't know if I'm gonna have the same feel for Against.
you know what? I actually looked at it a little bit more in depth, and you know what? Like I said, the moving aspect is very fun from what I'm seeing because basically,
Yeah, you have to dodge, right?
yeah, but no, not even just that. Because remember, at the very end of the trailer that they put on E3, all of a sudden you start running,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they cut it off. That's honestly the best
Yes,
part.
when he got the brass knuckles, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden he got brass knuckles, and then it started moving, and then of course the trailer was cut off. So we needed to see more of that. The trailer wasn't really good because
That's true.
they showed like a slow part, but from what I'm seeing here, look, I'm just gonna show you while what I'm talking about while I'm talking. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like it seems really fun. You're given guns. Basically, you're just shooting. I'm look. You have to like wall climb on like the trucks and stuff, and you're basically shooting people. So
Okay, so maybe there is something here, you know.
you know
Um,
there's a lot of potential here. It's just that I don't. It can get repetitive from what it looks like, right?
yeah,
And
and you know what? It seems pretty slow.
yeah,
So although it does quicken a little bit, and that's kind of like the addictive nature of Beat Saber is that you're going through and cutting down these boxes, but then they kind of amp up the
bro,
intensity,
you
and
don't even know.
yeah,
You
so
don't even know.
it feels like there's a thing there where it's like, okay, you need to beat the level, you know.
Yeah,
But we'll see, we'll check it out. It definitely
it's like
it looks a little bit better than what I saw before.
yeah, it looks like one of those jungle temple games, where it's just
Yeah,
like a endless run, and I mean, I could see it being a fun, but like it's gonna need a little bit more diversity in terms of its
I
gameplay.
agree. I agree. But the setting looks cool.
The setting looks amazing.
Yeah, the setting
Visuals.
looks cool. So, all right. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's talk about before we get into the real good stuff. Um, Song of the Smoke.
Yeah,
That was again very early on. It's
that
a
looks amazing.
dev update, right?
Dev update.
Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't show a trailer, so it
They
was
did.
just
Well,
no. They showed bits and
okay.
pieces of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They haven't shown a full trailer of it. It was more. It was like a 9-minute video of the developer explaining how he came about it, the things that he wanted to do in the game. The game does look amazing
On every level.
on every level. Even the interactions when you have the knife and you had that piece of wood and you're making it into a spike, right? Like a
Yeah.
spear. So the game is going to come out for Oculus, for PSVR, and for Steam, and it's a survival game. It's a full-on survival game. The great thing about it is how you hear the developer discuss how he's building the game, how he's trying to create this open world environment that looks as realistic and acts as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
He was talking about how, the animals in the game would have different emotions, and based on those emotions, that's how they would react. One of the things that he was talking about was the deer, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how if the deer ate, that he's not going to be as fearful of you when he sees you, but as you get closer, then that fight or flight instinct kind of kicks in. And the same thing reverses, that if it's hungry, then it's more jittery and stuff like that. So there's a lot of interesting things that he's trying to pull off there. um Awesome weather elements. There
Hmm.
was fog that he showed off, rain, day and night environments. um like I said, real reactions from animals,
It's
spatial
yeah.
spatial audio, which is really really awesome because he's kind of introducing that in the gameplay where you can hear from where the sounds are coming from, and it can alert you to like a predator or things of that nature. um So I'm gonna regress because it's not truly open world, but it's smaller little open worlds that blend into this bigger world that he has.
Yeah.
Um,
Look, it's not an action packed game, but it's definitely it's one of those games that you're just so immersed with because of the. He even said it himself. Beautiful landscapes and all of that. It's definitely the type of world that you want to continue interacting with. And look, if you're not looking for action and stuff, I would say, um, I mean, if you're looking for action stuff, I would say like this isn't the best game for you. But I'm telling you, this is just have this in the back of your head. If you're scrolling for new games, because I mean honestly the visuals look absolutely amazing.
and it's funny because it's supposed to be a survival game, but as I was watching the clips that he was showing, it also seemed very relaxing. Is
Yeah,
that weird?
it's look, bro, it's literally Minecraft. There you go. It's
Yeah, basically,
it's Minecraft to the extent
but with
where,
realistic
well,
animals.
yeah, with realistic stuff. I remember that really cool animation with the lion. That
Yeah, that
looks,
was awesome.
look, I'd say, bro, like I don't even know how to describe it. I get that it's a game, but like, damn, that looks really well for animation. It's something different. That's what you have to understand
It
about this
is.
game.
It really is. All right, let's get into the stuff that we're super
Yo,
excited about. There's about, I want to say, four of them.
yo.
I'm gonna start out with the least, and then we're gonna build up to the very end. Um, one of them is actually a game that they showed almost absolutely nothing of, and that is the Nerf Ultimate Championship.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
That has potential to be awesome, because if they make this like Unreal Tournament but with Nerf guns,
Jeez.
can you
Yo.
imagine how insane that would be?
Yo.
That
Bro,
would be incredible.
for those of you who don't know what Unreal Tournament is, check it out because, bro, that is literally such an amazing game, and that totally fits Nerf's
Absolutely, right?
because yeah, Unreal Tournament is focused on that sort of. It's I don't know how to
It's
describe it.
crazy, it's wild, it's insane. It's super action packed.
Yeah,
You're doing crazy things, jumps all over the place, some stuff that you would kind of think that would be perfect for the Nerf universe, right?
yeah,
Because the Nerfs, think about it, they're foam bullets, right?
bro, that's really it's like Unreal Tournament is sort of like a party game, a little. No, not a party game.
It's a game that you need to play with other people.
Yes.
It's cool to play with strangers, even better to play with friends because you can smack talk the crap out of it when you're playing, right?
Yeah, it's a couch shooter basically.
Yeah.
It's
And there's cool
oh,
ways
that's
of beating
awesome.
people, right?
Yeah, it's so awesome. And with Nerf, there's so much potential there because Nerf is just
I don't
I don't
think
know how to explain it.
I don't
There's
think we've ever had a Nerf game before, right?
no, we've never had an well, you guys have never had a Nerf game, and I don't think Andre and Josh, I'm Andre and the rest. I don't think they've ever had a Nerf game, but I've had Nerf games, and believe me when I tell you, it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. All right. So that's definitely one that we're gonna keep an eye out. Unfortunately, the teaser trailer that we got was only four players walking. Now, four very stylized, futuristic players, but that's all we got. We
It
got
fits the Nerf.
no gameplay whatsoever. It
Yep.
was just literally four people walking, heading to a dimly lit, walking through a dimly lit, what is it, like
Hallway,
a warehouse or something like that?
like a hallway.
Yeah, like a hallway, and then coming to a lighted door, and that's it.
It's like the vibe that I got from it was like a gladiator sort of thing, where
Yeah,
you're just walking into the gladiator sort of thing, and then you're ready to fight for your life.
and that the white light that comes from the doorway, right? So it's it'll be an interesting game to play. So
Yeah,
I
totally.
can't wait till we see more gameplay of it, because right now we've got absolutely none.
But it
Um,
looks good.
the other game that to me looked interesting was this game called Unplugged. Now, again, a game that didn't show a trailer. It was just a dev update, him explaining how they were going about the game and stuff. And so, but like I said, looks super interesting. What did you think about it? Should we tell everybody what the game is?
Um,
It's a guitar game. It's a
yeah,
basically a Guitar
Unplugged.
Hero game, but in VR, right?
Unplugged is it's Guitar Hero. There you go. There you go.
But you're using air guitar.
Yeah.
You're
So you don't need to have any control. Well, you shouldn't have any controllers.
No, because
No, you
remember
can't.
he said he's going to be using the Oculus Quest ability to track your hands.
Yeah. So you just air guitaring stuff, and it's absolutely awesome because like I don't know how to explain it.
It's the interface is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because even though you don't have a controller, your hands are holding a virtual guitar, right?
Yeah.
And the way that it works is that you're using the upper part of the guitar, right? You're not That's not the part where you're strumming, right? The strumming is the lower part, right? The
Yeah.
upper part is where you're actually, you know, manipulating the strings to
Yeah.
create the
You're
notes,
just
right?
yeah. That's usually how it is.
So if tell me if I'm explaining this right. You see the guitar and you see the sheet music going to the top, and what you have to do is you have to slide your hands to where the note's gonna fall on that
Bro,
part, right?
it's very realistic, and I'm speaking as not a professional guitar
But you've
player,
played
but
guitar.
I understand the basics of guitar. Speaking as a basics of guitar person, that's very very realistic because I know Guitar Hero, it wasn't very realistic, but like I believe the Guitar Hero director is actually working on this
Yes,
too.
they got a person from Guitar Hero to actually work on the game, and so
Yeah.
it has that street cred already by a guy who made a very successful franchise, and now they're creating a brand new one for VR. That's why I think it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're actually going to be almost feeling like you're really playing a guitar.
Yeah, you're basically really playing a guitar because you have to find the chords like G minor and all that. And it's actually I think it's very realistic to the real chords because I know
Hmm.
for real chords you have to like freaking you're contorting your hands basically.
Yeah,
So, but it's very realistic. That's all you really need to know about it.
and it looks awesome.
Amazing. It
Yeah,
looks amazing.
the interface is nothing like Guitar Hero. This is more. Um, it looks like you're looking at more of an environment, and then you got, crowd interactions and
Yeah.
things like that. So it looks really really cool for a person who likes Guitar Hero. This is something you definitely have to check out because
You have
it
to.
looks freaking awesome.
You have
And
to.
it's not cartoony like Guitar Hero was.
No.
This is more very realistic style, and
It
it
looks
feel
like what
it looks like you feel like you're really playing a guitar.
you're either at a bar or maybe they'll have like a concert or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really really cool. The last two games we're going to talk about.
Yo, these are the games.
These are the games
These
especially Eli is super excited about.
super duper. There's
Which
no
one do you
way.
want to do first?
Huh?
I'm gonna let you direct this part of the segment.
I don't
This
know.
is all you. Which one do you want to do first? Because both of them are really awesome. Now, one of them we already play. We already have.
Yeah.
We
It's not.
haven't tried it yet, but we have it.
It's an update
Right.
basically.
It's an update, but a really cool update
A really
on a
really
really, really good game. The other one is a brand new original IP. So which one do you want to talk about first? The one that's out already or the one that's coming?
let's start with the update because it's an update.
Okay.
It's not a main thing, but it's really awesome.
Take it away.
Pistol whip. Or no, it was gun whip, right?
No, it was Pistol Whip.
It's pistol whip. Pistol whip.
One of the best VR games on the Oculus Quest right now.
Why have we not heard of it?
We've heard of it. I never got around to getting it because we already had Robo Recall, we already had Onward. So I felt like, I didn't want to get too many
Shooting games.
shooting games. I wanted to have more of a diversity in the games that we
Yeah.
have. But you know what? The allure of Pistol Whip is just too great. And then
It's finally
seeing this
gotten to us.
update, it's like, you know what? I can't deny it anymore. We have to get it.
Pistol Whip is basically, think of you as John Wick, except you're basically shooting to the beat.
Yeah. And you're shooting robots
Yeah, you're shooting robots
In-
and dodging pipes and
in ultra colorful neon environments.
with bullets, with you dodging bullets at like super slow time.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, you're
basically.
like, if you guys haven't seen The Matrix, just picture this:
Bullet
the
time.
Neo scene where you're just like doing all these really cool backflips, and you're getting shot everywhere, and then it's like, this is the type of game to make you feel like an actual god.
It looks freaking awesome.
There's no doubt about it. It's cel shaded and it's colorful.
Neon, it's colorful.
It's just amazing overall. And this update really just expands on its amazingness, and it really just gives you the sense that you can turn this into an absolutely simple game, or you can just make this an absolutely breathing, living hell.
The customization that they're providing with this, because there's two things that they're doing. The one thing is bullet hell, right? Which bullet hell looks insane, right? But the second thing, and I think this is the one that you really interesting, is the styles, right? It's a feature that they call styles, and you can either create your own or you can see what other people have done, right? And it's basically you customizing the game to add visual elements and gameplay
to fit your experience, basically.
Yeah, it's you're basically creating your own kind of like Pistol Whip experience.
They had like freaking 2 golden revolvers that you could use, and then what bullet hell was like the one where like freaking bullets were. It's bullet hell. There's not really much
it's
to
just
say
like the
about
bullet hell games where it's like there's nothing but bullets raining down on you, and you have to find a way to kind of avoid it while shooting at the same time.
Bro, I just love the idea of, the one of the main things that I absolutely love about Beat Saber is the fact that you have different difficulties, and some just push you to the point where you're just in basically hell. And I love the idea that you're challenging yourself. That's what I love about Beat Saber, especially expert one-handed, where it's just freaking insane. And that's the sort of sense that I get from this game, because you're just pushing yourself beyond these limits for like freaking bullet hell, where you're just dodging everything at the speed of light. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome.
It is. And so you have to try Pistol Whip.
Yep.
You're going to do it right after this podcast. But I guarantee you it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And so the updates really make us excited for the next version, the next DLC that they're going to drop and stuff. And the great thing is that they continue to make this game better. And the game was awesome to begin with. So imagine, right?
Bro, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, so that's the Pistol Whip update that's upcoming that they announced at E3. Let's talk about the game that you're super excited about that we can't play yet because we don't have a PSVR.
Hopefully, it comes out for Oculus Quest, right?
Well, right now it's a Sony exclusive, so I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Sony.
But things can change. Things can change, but we're talking about the game Fracked. Because in this game, you're going to be fracked many times.
Definitely. There's literally no doubt about it. You're just going to get fracked.
Yep. So if you read the I guess the summary of what the game is, I'm going to read a quote from PlayStation.com. Fracked is a PlayStation VR shooter that seamlessly combines relentless, and I do mean relentless, they're not kidding about that, run and cover gunfights with free and fluid skiing and climbing.
Bro.
Stranded in a remote mountain facility, you play as a reluctant hero forced into a final stand between the planet and a legion of interdimensional enemies.
this is another like game that's absolutely a hell. That's gonna it's a
Yes.
challenge, but a fun challenge,
Yes.
And bro, it's just insane. I do believe this is on rails. So you don't actually have the freedom to move around a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's more kind of like, yeah, this is where you go. But
I
given the
that
way
doesn't
given the way it looks, it kind of makes
the
sense, right?
the gameplay that part of the gameplay doesn't matter because the rest of the gameplay completely outweighs that. Basically, let's just put it this way: you can like freaking what you have like
Oh, I take that back. You can move freely around
wait
the battlefield.
no
Yeah, that's what it
no
says.
no 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 that's not
Outflank,
possible.
outsmart, and outgun your foes using deadly and fully interactive weapons. So I take that back. It doesn't look like it's on rails, which now makes that totally insane.
No, that can't be because that was just how is that gonna
It's gonna be uh it's gonna be interesting because if you're moving about all over the place, oh my gosh,
how's that gonna no that's not gonna work. How what?
I think it will. Skiing, running, climbing, base jumping, zip lining. No on rails gameplay and cinematic cutscenes. Everything is one to one and driven by player controls, movements, and actions.
I still
Free
what?
movement for outflanking foes with one to one grabbable cover and tactile weapon reloading.
That's gonna
And
be way
according to
too
them, the trailer that we saw is only
a fraction
a
of the game.
fraction of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Um, you it you literally so you literally can climb, zip line, in world interactions, whatever.
Oh no,
Skiing, you actually have to ski.
I don't like
You
that.
have to lean to steer and control. Run and cover, obviously. 360 movement, so you can go anywhere. Um, it has that stylish classic action cinema visuals to it. Um,
Bro,
it'll
that's
be on PlayStation 5 also. So
no,
it's not just a PlayStation 4 game, it's a PlayStation 5.
bro, that's gonna be insane though.
But that could be kind of good if you think about it. Imagine with the insanity that you're doing and you're running for your life to try and get to cover. I think that adds a
Okay,
really good element to it.
yo,
Literally the game is fracked, right?
yeah.
You're going to be fracked playing this.
So yeah, so basically,
That actually I
yeah,
actually
you know
like
what?
that idea.
That doesn't sound half bad, but it should have came out for Oculus Quest.
Yes, I do agree with that, and that
Sony
kind of
being
sucks.
stingy as hell
That
again,
kind of sucks. That kind
but
of sucks. But they want something to introduce their PSVR to the PlayStation 5. And what better title to do it than this, right?
yeah, that it actually looks really good because like Walt was saying earlier, you can like grapple using grappling hooks. You could like ski and stuff, and
Rock climbing,
yeah, and all that.
cover,
And you have to shoot people. So
blind fire from cover.
so if you thought Pistol Whip was John Wick,
This is
no, you're
insanity
you there's no way you
to
can
the next
compare
level.
anything to this because you're just gonna be like you're gonna be getting like shot like millions.
It's like that movie Hardcore Henry.
Yes, there you go. That's literally what it is. It's hardcore Henry. And
It's going to be insane. I actually, now the fact that I know that it's open world, I'm actually even more excited about it.
yeah,
To be
I was a
honest.
little bit iffy about it, but
Yeah, because it seems like it's going to be difficult to kind of like run for cover while you're shooting, and so the kind of the on the rails thing is kind of exciting in that sense because it's like, okay, now you can just focus on the shooting, but I think it adds another element to it when you're running for your life.
yeah, that's literally gonna be absolutely insane.
I
But
agree.
yeah, it's what they had submachine guns, you had handguns, you had all that. So it seems like it's a hard game, but it seems like it could be addictive. Very. It's
Yeah.
like Robo Recall almost.
Yeah, basically. Robo
Yeah.
Recall, where you can go anywhere
And ski
and ski
and use grappling hooks
and
basically.
zip line.
Yeah, and zip line.
So I'm down for it. I think I'm more excited about it now that we started talking about it than we
Yeah.
were before.
Totally.
So there was a lot of stuff that came out in this game, and there were a couple of games that we missed, but we tried to pick the ones that we thought was the most interesting. Of course, if you want the better picture, please go online and either go to E3 or jump onto the Upload VR event that's, I believe, on YouTube for everything that happened on the VR stuff. But like I said, we tried to highlight the best games that we thought were interesting from that presentation. But there are other games that deserve that attention as well. So I invite you to go and check that out. And I think we're gonna wrap this one up with Fracked, right?
Yep, totally.
I think that's it. So again, thank you for joining us. We hope that you had a good time. We hope that you're a little bit more informed in terms of the VR stuff that's coming out that we should be looking forward to. If you're a VR fan, I would have to say that the future is looking extremely bright.
The top 3 games you should get based off of everything that we know about VR. What should we?
Well,
What?
see, it's hard to say because there are games that I know that are coming out, like Resident Evil, that I would put in my top
But as of right now,
top 3.
with
As
the
of right
trailers
now,
too.
based on what we saw from E3, it would have to be Fracked. It would have to be uh, the Pistol Whip, even though that is just a game that's coming out. So if it's a new game, it would be Fracked. I would be excited about Unplugged, and I would be excited about Song in the Smoke.
Really?
Yeah, because Song in the Smoke looks really interesting, and if the developer can really deliver on the stuff that he's trying to do, I think it's a game that will really highlight how awesome VR is for everybody.
Okay.
That's why I say I'm excited for it because of the potential that it has to really transform VR into an even more interactive environment that you're actually in.
Pistol Whip, Unplugged, and Fracked. For me.
All right. That works. All right. Like I said, thank you for joining us. Please come back. Remember, we are live always on Tuesdays. So just check us out Tuesday mornings when we release our episodes. And please tell everybody that you know that you've got this favorite little podcast called the CrossGen Podcast that is super interesting to listen to. Anyway, on that note, I'm Walt.
Eli.
And may our VR glasses,
May our Beat Saber paths cross. No.
our Beat Saber lightsabers, our Beat Sabers cross again.
May our. May our.
They are. They are. They are.
May our song in this. No. May our.
May our unplugged be fracked together before I pistol whip you into
The smoke. No, into
the song of the smoke. In the smoke.
May our pistol whips cross again so that I may frack you and
After the fall.
push you after the fall and push you
Into green hell.
into the green hell where there is the song of the smoke.
And traffic jams.
And
Where I also expect you to die twice. Because it's the rhythm of the universe, and there are many sniper elites living in Demos and dancing to the waltz of the wizard.
there you go. That
All
was
right, there you
absolutely
go. I
perfect.
think we listed almost all the games that we talked
Yeah.
about.
That was perfect though.
All right, later, people.